Good evening and welcome to the United View, our final ever one to celebrate the end of the season, as of course we also merge up with Stretty News TV after tonight's show. So you're watching us live right now on the United View channel. However, tomorrow, or maybe the day after, or the day after that, if you want to watch the show back, you'll have to watch it on Stretty News TV. So go back, subscribe. But however, we are all about you at the moment. We are live, so make sure you subscribe to this channel for the time being. Comment in the comment box. That's how you get in the chat box and you get to talk to Reds all over the world right now. And also join in with the debates from our panelists. So we've got 4 guys raring to go. Actually, 4 guys who have been part of this channel and Stretty News TV for the past year, and it's great to have them on. Aidan's with us. Aidan, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing well, even though that game was...
What, this show already? Oh, I've only done my intro.
What? No, the game, the whole game.
Oh, right, the game. Right, okay, fair enough. Well, I'll get on with it, Aidan. I'll try and entertain you for this evening at least. Aidan's on the show with us at Melvin7. Steve's also with us at SGCW7. Steve, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, Ben. Thanks for having us on, mate, on the last one.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thank you for obviously all your input this season as well. Let's not get sloppy just yet. Also on this evening, we've got the wise man himself, live from South Africa, with no technical difficulties tonight, fingers crossed. Barry is with us at Doc United. Barry, how you doing, mate?
Hi, nice to be with you, and thanks for having me on the show.
No problem at all. Thank you for coming on. And also the lad on the ground in Manchester, Ian Patterson, is with us. Haley unfortunately had to drop out last minute. So we've got someone better looking on the show tonight. Ian, how are you doing?
Oh, what an introduction there, Ben. What an introduction, pal.
You've got a lot to live up to now.
I think we're on the same wavelength, me and Haley. You know, in terms of that, let's not make it freaky right at the start, shall we?
Yeah, no, let's move on.
For having me on. Obviously, merging talents. Face of Stretty News has joined that one over there. I don't know what he's doing. So, yeah, it's all going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And the show tonight, we're going to go out with a bang. We're really going to do something tonight for United Fan Channels, which we've all tried to do all season. That's to give you guys an outlet, to give you guys your chance to give your views. Anyway, some breaking news from Manchester United is coming out. Radamel Falcao's loan has expired, and the club have confirmed that he will be going back to Monaco and that we're not going to take the deal up on a permanent. Aidan, what's your reaction to this news, mate?
I think it was expected. I mean, 4 goals, 4 assists for the season. It was a risk, and I agree that it was a risk worth taking because he was world class, but he probably came to the wrong club at the wrong time, considering he just came off from an injury. It's a thing to do. I know I did want his loan to be extended until January. The amount of strikers that seem to be available, replacement, I've got every confidence we can. We've already let a player go literally hours after the game, and we've also obviously already signed one in Memphis Depay. We're trying to get all the transfer really quickly. So yeah, I wish him all the best for a club. He'll probably go Syria. I don't know if he'll stay in the BPL. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I wish him all the best. And yeah, it just didn't work at United, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, Barry, we've seen players come and go over the years. For you, is it disappointment to see Falcao not work out?
Yes, he was an exciting player. I was very excited at the prospect of getting him because, you know, in his career he's been a world-class striker, but I don't think he's recovered from his injury, and I agree with Aidan. Probably wrong time at the wrong club. I wish him well. He'll probably go on and score 20 or 30 goals at the next club that he goes to. But as far as keeping him at United, a no-brainer. I don't think there would be a place to keep him on in the team.
All right, yeah. Well, to be honest, also, you know, Hernandez is coming back as well. Who knows if he's going to stay up? You know, Nani's another one. You just don't know where we're going now with the strikers. Steve, what's your reaction to this breaking news? Are you happy with the decision being taken on Falcao?
Yeah, I don't think it's a surprising one. A bit gutted that United couldn't do any if there was no negotiation or there was no loan for another season. I agree with the boys what they're saying there. Wrong time, wrong club for him, I think. United have been rebuilding after Sir Alex. We haven't played quality football, and Falcao will probably be the scapegoat this season for United. Wish him all the best. Risk worth taking. Yeah, I'd love seeing him with a pre-season and being backed by the manager and backed by obviously the fans and the club. But yeah, it wasn't meant to be, and United will hopefully go out and replace him.
Yeah, I mean, it is that chat now. What do we do? Do we go for another striker? Hello to Daryl, who says Falcao was a waste of talent. So many injuries. It's just a shame. Leo says good luck to Falcao. He's a nice guy, but a bloody waste of time and money in the end. I mean, it is weird, isn't it, Ian? I mean, we're sat here and we're talking about one of the best strikers in the world on his day. However, it's not worked out with him at the best club in the world. What have you made of his season?
I think we'd be judgmental on his season, but it's also the same from all of our strikers, really, bar Rooney. Bobby Van Persie's not hit any form this season, and so you've got to look at it in that sort of perspective. To me, honestly, I love the idea of him coming. Me and Jonathan and Serge at the training ground on the day that he signed on transfer deadline day, stayed out his hotel till the early hours to see him come back. It was just one of those world-class signings. You thought, here we go, Jesus Christ, United have gone out and done the business, and it's come to an end, and it's not happened for him. But I think we said before that Louis van Gaal's in the distance of making these decisions quite quickly. You know, only hours after the final whistle, we didn't even travel today, and he's straight on with it, and he'll be straight in for a replacement if he needs a replacement. It possibly looks that way, you know, if Chicharito doesn't, come back and stay on. So yeah, it's going to be one of those strange things. Though, then again, you've got Wilson that started today. There's other players in the youth ranks that'll come through as well. So yeah, I think that Falcao, yeah, it might have been a bit of a gamble at the start, but for me, he's done as much as I think he can. I think he actually gave his all. He's not worked out in the Premier League, and unfortunately, he'll probably go somewhere else and score like 20, 30 goals next season.
Yeah, I mean, he is still quality, isn't he, Aidan? He still has that quality. He might be a yard off the pace. But do you reckon he will end up finding another club and going and banging in the goals there? Or do you think that maybe he might have to take a step back?
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, one thing that the lad does have for him is probably the most powerful football agent on the planet in Jojo Mendes, so it won't be a problem finding him a club. I just don't know what type of level and what kind of role he'll get with the team if he goes to a Champions League, particularly in one of the bigs. I'm not sure. I mean, I do wish him all the best, but he is 29, so he's getting on a bit. He's a couple more seasons. Look at Carlos Tevez. He's been doing fantastically for Juve. I think Syria will probably be a good destination, like Inter Milan. Venice have just signed Paulo Dybala, so I can't imagine him going there. Yeah, I can probably win the Serie A or maybe La Liga, like Valencia, but he's got massive wages, so they're going to be cut for 250k. Not many clubs can afford that, but again, I hope he does well. He deserves it because the level of professionalism he actually showed at United. He might not have had the talent, unfortunately, but you're not doubting his level of effort. It just could tell he really wanted to work, and it just didn't, unfortunately. So it's just one of those things, and I think he will do well wherever he goes.
Yeah, I mean, Barry, it's quite interesting. I read a stat today. We are the only club in the Premier League. Well, no, actually, we have officially this season, after today's game, made less chances in the Premier League this season than one of the bottom clubs, QPR, which is a bit worrying. For a striker like Falcao, he needs service, doesn't he? Does he look back and does he maybe go, oh, actually, my players didn't help me out, or is it solely on him, the reason as to why he's not staying?
I think probably it's a combination of both. When he's been presented with chances, he hasn't taken them. He's scuffed shots. It's all about confidence, and he hasn't looked confident. To me, he's looked a little bit off the pace. He looks injured. As far as creating chances are concerned, this is a very, very worrying factor. And in fact, today's game is a game in point because we hardly troubled the whole keeper the entire game. And we are creating very, very few chances. I'm sure we'll speak about it later in the program, but we really are crying out for some creativity in their side and some pace in that side. We seem to work the ball well up until the sort of final third, and then we're just not creating the chances. We've played for most of the season with a lone striker. I don't think Falcao does well as a lone striker. Rooney, quite frankly, for me, is the only one that can fulfill that role in the club at present. And when he's having a bad day like he did today, we don't fire at all up front. So for Falcao, a combination of both. But he really he looked very ungainly with respect to many chances that were presented to him. And if you watch a DVD of Falcao's sort of greatest goals, it makes for riveting viewing. But we certainly haven't seen that side of his play this season at all. Bear in mind, he's going off to the Copa America, so he won't have a pre-season, almost certainly with whichever club he joins. But I think he'll end up either in Serie A or in La Liga.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite interesting looking at the quotes now on the website. Louis van Gaal told United, Falcao is a top professional and a good human being. On behalf of myself and everyone at the club, I'd like to wish him well for the future. So that's Falcao confirmed he will not be joining United on a permanent basis. He will be heading back to Monaco and then, well, probably the next stage of his career. However, we carry on, and should we carry on with today's game then, Steve? We'll have a look at it. What did you make of that? You're not one to hide away from saying it how it is. Was that really boring today?
Yeah, it was. To be honest, I didn't expect anything different. To be fair, last game of the season, United have got nothing to play for away from home. If it had been at home, then I'd have probably been a bit more of why United doing this. But there's a difference between wanting to win and needing to win, and that was shown today because Hull were dangerous and took United a while to even sort of settle. And yeah, it wasn't great today. But to be honest, I'm not reading too much into it. The season was over last week. And yeah, not a great deal today, but for me, nothing play for. Absolutely nothing play for.
Yeah, Ian, it looked like the players had their flip-flops on, to be honest, apart from James Wilson when he came on and started doing some running on the pitch. I mean, what did you make of this whole holiday mode? Do you agree with it, or do you believe that they should have put more into that game today?
Yeah, it does seem a bit like they all had the flip-flops on and we get this one 10 out. I don't know, Louis van Gaal's press conference on Friday, he just sort of went, well, we're going to put a strong squad out, but the whole sort of ethos of the team seemed to be like, well, we're going to keep possession, and then we just looked a bit sloppy in the midfield. Most of that first half, just lost the ball constantly. And to be fair, in actual fact, and I know a lot of United fans would have been quite happy to watch Steve Bruce stay up, but I felt quite unlucky for them. They had 2 goals in that first half, ruled offside, and they could have nicked their points there. Would United have woke up and reacted if they had scored? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. So I think that's the disappointing thing. But if this was a Fergie team, and I know we've got to stop going back to a Fergie sort of era, then United would be ruthless. We would go out and we'd go at these teams and we would want to win. So it's quite scary to say that we didn't want to sort of all look like we wanted to win. That we only created like two or three chances in the entire match. It's absolutely sort of diabolical to watch as a United fan. But you go back to the whole. Well, the United fans were having a party in that blooming corner of the away section, literally having a party. And I know that blooming George Best song's going to be absolutely bouncing around the terraces at Old Trafford and away grounds next season. But Jesus Christ, they were having a party, and I think United players on the pitch felt the same, that they should be in party mode as also.
I mean, it was great because I felt that listening to the fans that George Best song must have broken records today for the most repeated chant in one game. I mean, it just didn't stop, did it? I know all the lyrics now. I'm not good at keeping lyrics in my head, but I know the whole song now. And no, I am not going to do a rendition. One of you unmuted then. I heard it, and you were going to. It's not happening. Leo says today's match meant nothing. The rest of the season wasn't much different. That said, Liverpool, Arsenal, and City have all been poor this year. Hello to Tatenda. Why are people concerned about today's match? It meant nothing. Hello to the guys who are chatting about Falcao. Daryl's in there. Mohamed is in there. He's questioning Rooney a bit. He doesn't seem like a leader. Something scares him a little bit after today. I mean, should we talk about some individual performances? Aidan, we'll come over to you. Rooney was back today. He was playing centre forward. Van Persie, of course. Wilson left on the bench. Falcao out. What did you make of Rooney up top today? Did he do enough for you?
Recently hasn't really formed well in that, and he's the only one that is guaranteed to start next season. I mean, he's got the quality. Some of the goals he scored this season is absolutely ridiculous, but he does need to get a little bit more consistent. Yes, he's been played as centre mid, calm, all over the shop, and hopefully that is the reason for his dip in form towards the end of the season. But he has been made a striker quite a lot recently, and he hasn't really done what fans would really expect. I know there hasn't been a lot of activity either, so hopefully it's just a temporary thing and Rooney will be back fully firing next season. Guaranteed to start the captain. Other players, I think Di Maria is probably going to be up there with CM de Jong for the most unlucky footballer this year. It's absolutely ridiculous. He gets a chance and then he's injured 23 minutes in. Januzaj came on and he showed flashes of what he could do last season. I mean, there was one particular dribble where he got past 2-3 players, but then obviously they got it. And yeah, I think overall, again, there's just weren't in a game. Hull definitely deserved the win. Another thing that's a little is I think that first clean sheet we've had in like 8 games. So Val did really well at actually diving. I think he was he's a good shot stopper, but his handling seems a bit like David De Gea in 2011, not me. And he's 33, so we'll see what happens. I think we will get another keeper in if David De Gea does leave. But yeah, we need to sort out the defensive errors. That's a major thing because the amount of saves we've had to rely on David De Gea to do and the amount of clean sheets that we haven't got, we should have got, is a bit irritating. So hopefully we can sort out season, etc. I've got full faith that Louis Van Edwood will definitely do what's needed in the summer. So yeah, things are looking positive, even though today is probably a low of the season.
I think I caught on to most of that, Aidan. You're lagging quite a bit tonight. Probably loads of Newcastle fans where you are on the internet reliving today's celebrations like they had won the league and they had only just stayed up. But you are lagging quite a bit. But I did get most. You mentioned Valdez there. Barry, we'll come over to you. Obviously, we've spoken a lot about David De Gea today. Over the last season. Fantastic goalkeeper. Rumours he is going to leave. Who knows? Van Gaal saying he's confident that we're actually going to keep him. But what did you make of Valdez's performance today? It was a bit dodgy in the air, wasn't he? But his shot stopping was second to none.
Yeah, I think one must bear in mind that this was Valdez's first start in 18 months. I think that the Premiership is a bit of a culture shock for La Liga goalkeepers. Premiership strikers, centre forwards, centre backs are a lot more harsh on the goalkeepers than they are in La Liga. And he reminded me a little bit of the early De Gea, fumbling the crosses, not looking all that confident, yet a couple of sublime saves. So at 32, he's still got a lot of years left in him, barring injury, because he's had some bad injuries. I never know what to believe in the press. In fact, I believe nothing written in the press, so I'm not sure whether De Gea will leave or not. On the balance of it, I guess it looks like he will be on his way. We hear that Lindegaard will also leave, so that would leave United wanting to come in, I guess, for another keeper, unless they make Ben Amos the second keeper. I'm not sure. Petr Cech, I think, would be a good proposition. Reminds me a little bit, if we would get him, of when we brought in Van der Sar. The ready-made article, the guy's got a lot of experience, but there's been a lot of talk about him going to Arsenal. Hugo Lloris is another one. Will Spurs do business with United? I guess if the money's right, anybody will do business with anybody else, except, I guess, United and Liverpool. But I think we will probably be in for another keeper. I'm sure we'll discuss further, because I think we need to be in for another 4 or 5 players as well.
Yeah, no, that is true. We do need a big summer overhaul. Plus, we don't know who's coming back from loan, who will be staying, and who will be sold on. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Steve, we'll come over to you. In terms of performances today, what did you make of Daley Blind again in that Carrick role?
Like I said, I don't know. You can't. Like I said, I don't think you can read too much into where they're playing. I don't think he did too bad, to be honest. Again, he isn't. Daley Blind isn't one of them where he's going to set the world alight, is he? To be fair, I like watching him. He keeps it simple and he breaks up play and he's quality. But I think when he'll have like a 9 or a 10, it's going to be fucking hell. You know what I mean? Where did that come from? I like how consistent he is, and like I say, he keeps it simple. I think that's why Van Gaal bought him. Performance-wise today, I'll start with Valdez quickly. Yeah, I agree with what Barry says there, to be fair. I mean, you see a lot saying, oh, well, he can't start next season and all this. This is his first game pretty much in England. That was a welcome to England, that was. You go back to the start of the season, and Herrera started in centre midfield against Swansea, and John Joe Shelvey kicked the shit out of him for 90 minutes. And everyone thought, bloody hell, probably writing him off already. And you look how guys like that need games. Is he going to get games? I don't know with his age. I've been saying check for ages. I think if United don't go for him, that's a huge mistake, and it could go down the road of what we were doing after Peter Schmeichel. Next, I'll go on Fellaini. Mind, no one's gone on Fellaini. I'll leave it.
We'll
go
come
back
back
onto
to
Wayne
Fellaini.
Rooney. I'll just go and say I'll leave Fellaini. I'll go on Wayne Rooney. The thing that makes me laugh is this: Rooney goes up top, he scores goals, right? The one thing that annoys me. How many times have I come on this season, Ben, and said United creatively are absolutely awful?
Yeah.
Every week. And
Yeah.
why? Because it's in front of your eyes, and the stats back it up. It isn't hard to understand a game of fucking football, is it? You know what I mean? And what I can't stand is when Van Persie plays up front. Oh, Van Persie's shit, he hasn't scored. Falcao, 300 grand a week, he's wank. Why ain't Wayne Rooney branded about in that? When was the last time Wayne Rooney was unplayable? I open up to anyone. You know what I mean? Go back to it. When? Just someone tell me when he was unplayable. Recent memory. I don't think anyone's got one, mate.
Was it 08?
When? I'm not on about one game. I'm on about a series of stretch. People talk like he's fucking in the top 10 players in the world. It's laughable. Don't they watch the same game as what everyone else does? The striker in this 4-3-3 is there to occupy two centre halves. Van Persie does it, and Falcao's done it for the season. So why, when Falcao and Van Persie play up front, when they don't score, they're shit. But when Wayne Rooney's up there, the service was wank. You can't have it both ways. Yeah, they might bum him. I don't care. He might be captain. He gets special privileges, mate. Wayne Rooney was dog shit today. We're talking about basics. Controlling a ball. Even when he lost the ball and he was fighting back, he's left his leg in. Now, reputations on players. Keane would have probably got sent off for that. You know what I mean? It's just silly. And making excuses for Wayne Rooney, you can't do it. The last run of honestly, I cannot remember. People go on about when we're winning games. Oh, Rooney's gone back up front, 5 games, and he scored goals. It's obvious who the main man was when that come back in. It was Michael Carrick. Because since he's gone, my days, United have been absolutely bang average, to be fair. Bang average. And I tell you what, if these fans who want Falcao gone and Van Persie gone next season, and Wayne Rooney is the main man at that football club next season, I tell you what, if they think Wayne Rooney is going to drag United to a winning a league or a Champions League on their own, I tell you what, I just can't. I can't say anything. It just beggars belief. It really does just beg a belief.
It'll be great because I think we can talk more about Rooney on our season review show because obviously first he's had to play that lone striker role. He's been in and out of positions this season, so I think more detail we can go into this on our season review show. But I have got to agree, today there just didn't seem to be any life in Rooney, and to be honest, he struggled with a bit of an injury over the past week. He had something like 2-3 days training. I think there's no point in playing him. He did just seem a little bit off the works today, didn't he? Ian, in terms of the players today who played another player I want to quickly ask you about is Adnan Januzaj. Ian, what did you make of his performance today?
I was going to go back to what Aidan said. He showed flashes. He took 2 or 3 players on him, involved them through their box. But for me, in actual fact, that's what he brought to us last season. Just that he just stood out like a sore thumb. I said this over the season that he stood out like a sore thumb. And we go back to the under-21s game against City a couple of weeks back, or it's just over a week ago now. He looked a bit disinterested in that game. But then he came out in the second half. He sort of brought those flashes and sparks back. He got his goal and went off about 10-15 minutes later. And I thought, this is not really his level. But to be honest, it's not his level trying to get into the first team at the moment. So he's sort of hanging, sort of in the middle of nowhere. And I think that's even on today's sort of performance. I sort of start to feel like you've got to give him some sort of either give him a run of games and let him go for it, and let's see what he produces. He got those run of games last year, and it went for him quite well with Moyes. He's not had them under Louis van Gaal, so it sort of indicates to me that he needs to go out on loan or something and get a good run of games for the next season, and see what player he comes back like. We sent Nani out on loan, and he went banging them in left, right, and centre. And I know that the quality of football that he's playing for Sporting Lisbon is a lot less than it is in the Premier League. But that's the sort of confidence that you may need to bring back into Januzaj's game for him to come back and do that in the Premier League. Then again, does he lose the physicality? He was bundled around left, right, and centre at times this season. I've seen him even being double marked, man marked by both the winger and the left or right back, depending on which flank he was playing. So you've just got to figure out where to play him, where's his best position, and sort of either give him a run out the team or let him go out on loan and do that. But for me today, his performance today, he didn't really do anything. He was pretty much bang average all across the board, and Steve just said it there. It's bang average all season. I think that's sort of an average, but we seem to be above average. It was those 4 or 5 games after the Tottenham match. We went on a bit of a run. We got some points on the board, and we just got our heads above bang average at the moment, and we seem to have. And that's the power of the league, isn't it? We won more points last year than Liverpool have won this season. So that shows you the quality of the league at the moment.
I've got to say, I was going to say to you, Ian, it's interesting what you mentioned about Nani, obviously him being in that league, and it's a different quality sort of league. But also, it's also quite funny because there's also rumours linking us with Gaitan. And, he hasn't had as good a season as Nani has, and Nani's been over there on loan from us. So it begs the question, sort of, transfers from the Portuguese league, doesn't it? Obviously, that's for another show, but I just thought I'd have my penny worth on that. And also, just quickly on Rooney and obviously on Januzaj. For me, Januzaj today would have 2 touches, and you're like, oh, wait a second here, he's got past a couple of players here. Then his third touch, the ball would end up either going through to the keeper or going to the next defender. He looked like he had got some strength back, though, which was good to see. But, guys, just quickly, I'm going to come to each of you. I want to know your man of the match and why. Very, very quickly, brief minute. Aidan, who's your man of the match today for United and why?
Valdez, because he made a lot of good saves. Yeah, he made a couple of mistakes, but there wasn't really anyone else I could potentially say. Maybe Smalling or Jones even, which is pretty surprising. He was pretty good defensively, but yeah, there wasn't many. Mata, Herrera did alright, but I'm going to say Valdez.
Yeah, what about you, Barry? Who was your man of the match today?
I would say Herrera, because he was the only one who showed a little bit of urgency in his play. The rest of them, quite frankly, were abysmal.
Yeah, well, there we go. Short, sweet. I love it. Steve, what about you, mate?
My man of the match, mate, was me for watching.
Well, there we go. I'm sure other people are voting you as well. And who's your man of the match today?
I'm giving it to the United fans. They sang for 90 minutes. They showed some passion, some actual give and go for it for 90 minutes. They were partying, pal. So, yeah, the United fans is always getting 90 minutes. I don't know what happens to the players on the pitch. They've got a pina coladas in their hand, and we're probably thinking they will go to Marbella at some point.
Yeah, they
possibly with
first time I think we've had 4 different candidates for man of the match. Always 1 or 2.
Yeah, no, we have, haven't we? United fans. We've got Steve for man of the match for the first time this season. We've got Herrera and we've got Valdez. I mean, I would have to go with Valdez. 2 magnificent saves, kept it at 0-0. To be honest, other than that, there was no real magic in the game, was there? Also, I have got to quickly say. On the topic of the United fans, I think probably in the United players, Ian, they're probably thinking about heading off to Wings, weren't they, for their end of season party? Knowing Louis Van Gaal, he's probably already there, isn't he?
There's some sort of quote. I don't know if it was just a rumour about him talking about sweets at some point. And I was thinking, has he gone all Wenger on us at some point? What the hell's going on? I know that he was on a bit of a mental sort of trip from his speech the other night. But yeah, Wings could be another possibility. Although they're getting extremely good blooming advertising out of United, certainly. But yeah, they could be all back in Wings as we speak.
Yeah, no, that is true. They could probably be there now. We didn't even get an invite. That's a shame. Right, guys, let's quickly talk about that Fellaini red card. Aidan, we'll come to you first. What did you make of that? There was a mixed opinion on the @StraightenNewsTV Twitter account when it happened. Some people saying deliberate, some people saying not. What was your view of it?
I think it was just Fellaini. Like, literally, I think just an idiot moment in his terrific season, and really happy for him. But he's going to be a squad player. One thing I really wasn't happy at was the stick that Fellaini got. for this. Like, it was affecting Nottingham, and people do forget that he's probably won us about 7 points this season because of a couple of his. But yeah, it was just a stupid red card, and I was gutted that it happened. But yeah, it was definitely a red card, and now he's missed the first 3 games of the season, so that's not going to bode well, especially if we get some midfield signings for him. But I think he'll just score rotation next season, so a bit disappointed, but at the end of the day, it didn't really affect the game anyway. We were shit before we were shit out, so, you know.
Yeah, no, that's true. Barry, what about you? What did you make of the Fellaini challenge? Was it reckless or was it a bit intentional? Was he leaving his foot in there?
I think the word to describe it was dumb or stupid. Stupid challenge. That stage of the game, ref's got to give him a red card for that. Whether it was intentional or not, only he knows. But the problem is already misses the first 3 games the next season. So really stupid red card. That unnecessary but deserved.
Yeah. For you, Steve, was it deliberate? To me, it looked like he did. It looked like one of those typical challenges where he was going in, he wasn't going to get the ball, so he thought, I'll have a little bit of him here. But then in the end, he managed to get all of him because he was a bit clumsy. What did you make of it?
No, Aidan said it bang on there, mate. That's Fellaini, clumsy. That's all it is. It was a red card every day of the week. Poor challenge, but like I say, that's what Fellaini is when it's on the floor. He's played well. He's done all right this season. Obviously, we know he got terrible stick last season. I think a few are going overboard saying he's unplayable and he's been amazing. I can understand why Louis van Gaal's played him in some games, and like Aidan said, he's won us some points. But if he's a starter next season, man, I could go back. If Wayne Rooney's the main man next season and Fellaini, he's starting every week, United have got no hope for challenging me. For me, I never wanted him to start off with. He looked terrible last season. In some of the games, you have to admit this season, you think, he's come on and done well. He's looked dangerous there, but I think the way United have set up as well the past few months has played into Fellaini's hands. Every time you see De Gea having a kick, it's straight up to Fellaini, and obviously he's going to win the majority of headers. But no, I thought that was really poor today. Like I say, the red card every day of the week for me. I'm going to go on more on Fellaini and the rest.
We've had enough tree for one season, haven't we? Ian, what about you, mate? Clear red card, and do you think it was stupidity?
I've said it time and time again. You put him in midfield, he becomes clumsy, he gets out of line, he's just terrible in midfield. What's he doing there? What's he doing there? He's just pointlessly there. What is he doing? But yeah, he didn't start. Surprised me. Someone came on Twitter as soon as he come on. It might have been just after he come on, saying that surprise, that we've not had any crosses in this game. Fellaini comes on, that's what's going to be expected. They start pinging the balls at him, and that was ridiculously reckless. I think I heard in commentary that he'd actually had a bit of a niggle with the play that he did actually a couple of minutes earlier off the ball. So maybe there was intention there. But still, if he's going to try and get back into United team for next season, to me, why on earth is he making challenges like that? Because if we've got to go against someone that's got quite a bit of height, then Louis van Gaal's going to stick him in the lineup straight away.
You know what's going to happen.
But he's got first game
of the season.
We're going to be playing Stoke away, and we're not going to be able to throw balls at anybody, and it's going to turn into a Fulham capacity from last season where there's balls going in left, right, and centre, nobody on the end of them, and he's just spawned his own starter like next season. We've just said it there. We've got a couple more players that come in centre midfield. You might as well have just handed himself in his own transfer request without doing so.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. However, let's move on from the whole show. I think we had enough of that. A dull, boring game with stupidity from Fellaini, but some brilliant Valdez saves. That's what we've taken away from it, and not a nice way to end the season, really. Aidan, let's come over to you then. The season is now over. Of course, Liverpool got absolutely battered today, which means they finished sixth, and actually their points total this season is worse off than Moyes' was last season. Moyes was a football genius. Are you happy with this season in terms of the Scousers are back down there and we're back challenging up in the top four?
Or is it 5?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I find it hilarious that they finished below Spurs and they had a worse goal difference by the end of it than Spurs because of Stoke 6-1, man. Like, they were taking the piss out of us for losing a couple of years ago against City 6-1. But Stoke, really? 6-1? What the hell? Gerrard's final game. Does anyone give a fuck about the game? Honestly, did anyone at Liverpool really show Gerrard respect? I'm not, because, you know, it's Gerrard. But, you know, if you're a club legend and all that, surely it's got to mean something that he's going to lose. But 6-1? I just don't understand. But yeah, I'm absolutely delighted that we're fourth. I know that means we've still got to play qualifier 2 places ahead of Liverpool. Liverpool having less points last year than it's brilliant. Hopefully, you know, we can keep rising up the table and they can just stay mediocrity. That would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, fingers crossed. They need to, don't they? Barry, let's come over to you, mate. You must be happy with how the season's ended for the Scousers, but overall, are you happy with how it's ended for United in terms of our position?
No, Ben, I'm not happy with the season at all. Firstly, a word about Liverpool. I really think we should be looking at the teams above us, not the teams below us. And when you look at Chelsea this season, they're head and shoulders the best side. They're the complete article. And if United want to challenge Chelsea, we need a major overhaul for next season. What I haven't enjoyed this season is what we've discussed previously, is the lack of creativity in the team and the lack of pace. If this is the Van Gaal philosophy, that we play without pace and without creativity, I'm not looking forward to it. And I think possibly what epitomizes the Van Gaal philosophy is Daley Blind playing in the role of Michael Carrick. There's not a hope in Hades that he can play in that role. And what's been alarming for United is that, would you believe, this season we've used 36 players in total. That's in all competitions. There are only 2 players that have played more than 30 games in the Premiership. So we've really not had a stable team at all due to injuries, due to loss of form. And that's been a big factor. Michael Carrick, in fact, only started 16 league games this season, and we've struggled without him. So no, I've not been happy with the play at all. We're Man United. I think to say what we aim for is a Champions League place. In reality, maybe, but we want to aim higher than that. And if we want to compete, I think there are 2 ways of looking at it. Does he look at a long-term plan where he tries to nurture young players, or does he bring in the finished article? And quite frankly, if you look at the top sides today, there's not much room for blooding youngsters. Most of the teams bring in top players, you know, at the top of their game. And at the start of the season, ostensibly we'd done that, but the players have really failed to progress in some respects. I think Di Maria's had a very, very frustrating season because for Real Madrid he was sublime. And if you think about it, he's come to a strange country. He's had that housebreaking episode. So possibly better if he's there next season. But going forward, I think United need to change the entire spine of the team. If De Gea is leaving, we need a goalkeeper, we need a centre-back, we need a defensive midfielder, creative midfielder, and a striker, and throw in a right-back as well. So big overhaul to come. My overall report card for United for this season, I'd give them a B.
A B, yeah, a B- with room for improvement in the next exam. Actually, it's quite funny what you were saying about young players not coming through. I was watching the game away at City for the under-21s, and I've been watching quite a bit of under-21s football over the end of the last 2 months. And Tom Thorpe has been superb, absolutely superb. What is he? He's 23 now. He's won everything. I think he's the most decorated under-21s player in United's history. He's been playing for the under-21s for the past 4 or 5 years, and he's never ever had a look in, ever. There's one point actually where I think it was last season where Carrick had a little niggle, and some people were saying, look, Tom Thorpe could be his natural replacement. This season, he's moved back into defence because he saw an opportunity to capitalise there on United. But Blackett and McNair have all had the chances. So it's actually interesting what you say about youth there, Barry. Do you think they should be given more of a chance next season, or do you think next season we do need to do the nitty-gritty?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Do I think Blackett and McNair should be given a chance?
No, do you think that we need to give more under-21 players a chance next season, or do you think that we need to go more for the finished article next season?
I would like to have seen some of them given a chance today, for example, because I certainly think they would have played with more commitment than most of the guys who are on the field today who had more than one eye on their very wealthy vacations that are coming up. So I would like to have seen them play, and yes, I would like to see one or two of them blooded, but in this day and age, you've got to do it in a sort of in a gradual manner. I don't think we'll ever see the likes of the class of '92 again. I don't think we'll see the management that they had, but I would like to see some of them, and possibly in the cup competitions.
Yeah, hopefully they don't get beaten 4-0 by MK Dons or whatever that was.
Run next time, yes.
Sake, yeah. Oh, that's going to be a great chat on our end of season review. We've got to mention that, haven't we? Next week, by the way, next Sunday, end of season review, Stretty News TV. Make sure you watch it. Of course, straight after the show today, we are moving this channel over to Stretty News TV. We need to do it with your help, so make sure you go and subscribe to Stretty News TV. But the last two opinions on the United view tonight. Steve, we'll come over to you, mate. All in all, we have got a platform to build on now, haven't we, for next season?
Yeah, of course we have. Job done, top 4. I know it's not been spectacular for some, but if you'd have gone in September, well, it was the start of the season was chaos. That wasn't Van Gaal's fault, in my opinion. Going back on the philosophy, I don't think this is a Louis Van Gaal philosophy one bit. I think he tried at the start of the season. It wasn't working. And like I say, he's a manager that will change, and he'll sort of get you over the line, and he gets results against big sides. United have been quality this season. I think we'll start seeing the proper Louis Van Gaal in the next year to 18 months without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. He'll move the shit that we've got on this side, because there's still shit. Let's not kid ourselves. There was shit when Ferguson was there. And most of it was shit when Moyes was there. I trust this manager 100%. You only have to look at the famous speech he gave the other day. Louis Van Gaal was absolutely fuming that there was a goalkeeper at Manchester United, a player of the season. It was the same last season. He doesn't want this. The fans don't. But when the manager does as well, you can see where United are going. He even said, I like playing attacking football, and the goalkeeper getting a man of the match week in, week out, and the player of the season, it isn't good enough. And it isn't good enough. Going back on youth, I think he does it naturally. He's done it naturally wherever he's been. He sees a player and thinks, oh, that fits for me. And you see it with McNair. He's been given chances this season. Obviously, everyone's got the favourites. There was talk Michael Keane was going to break through under Moyes and under Ferguson. Never happened. Obviously, these managers, and Louis Van Gaal's got a track record of looking at a player and going, I don't think he's good enough. So I think if he moves them on, they might not be good enough. And Dan Januzaj is a perfect example. What's Januzaj done this season? Now, I'm not getting on the kid's back. I've said it loads of times. He's a talented kid. But we were that shit last season. We were clinging on to an 18-year-old taking fucking players on. Now, let's not kid ourselves. That's what we were doing. Just because David Moyes thinks you're Johan Cruyff doesn't make it fucking true, does it? He's done absolutely nothing all season. I gave him 20 minutes against Swansea in the opening day. What was the other game now? Sunderland. I come on against Sunderland and Ben was taking the piss out of me for me Januzaj comment a couple of weeks before. So there's 2 games that season. He hasn't done well, but to be fair to him, most of the United side haven't done well. So I said at Christmas, I think he should go out on loan. Barry brought up a great point about blood in youth, but we haven't been in the cup. Now, people can blame Van Gaal they want for losing 4-0 to MK Dons. Yeah, he was the manager. It was David fucking Moyes who put us in the second round of the Carling Cup. Let's not forget that. Now, Van Gaal, I think he got rid of 7 of that side after they got beat against MK Dons. The performance was disgraceful, but the guy acted. You know what I mean? So I don't buy this. If that's Van Gaal's philosophy, I don't want to watch this shit next season. Van Gaal don't want to watch it. He doesn't.
Yeah, that is true.
This guy's done it all around the world. Let's not start kidding ourselves that he's happy lumping a fucking ball up to Fellaini. He's done it to get United over the line. Now, in the summer, I think everyone will agree. They're excited at what United are going to bring in. Obviously, he's going to bring a few players that he fancies and not what the media link him with. And I'm excited about the players he's going to buy. I think he's already shown with Memphis that he's going to go after an exciting player and inject some quality and pace. And I just want to see players come into this side now that want to play for Manchester United, because Manchester United playing for a club like that big should be, it's a pinnacle. fans would give the right arm to put on a shirt. I'd do it for 10 minutes. Some of these again. Look at Nani and Anderson. I keep going back onto them clowns. 7, 8 years at this club, and they aren't even asked. We're paying Nani's wages in Portugal, and I don't buy he's being good because I'm not being funny. Manchester United players should well be judged on European performances, the elite, playing against the best. And I watched Nani in a Champions League game. I think it was against Chelsea, and I was in Portugal. I was laughing because that guy is absolute dog shit. Hernandez for Real Madrid a couple of weeks ago, he got a winner. He missed 19 chances before that. Just because you're on a score sheet, say the same with Rooney, just because you get yourself out of jail by scoring. Does that mean you're mint? No, it doesn't. And I think, like I say, I think Barry's bang on with the positions. We'll get onto reviewing the rest of the season, but that's all I'm going to say on Van Gaal and the sea. But I'm happy that United, because if United would have screwed up the appointment, and it could have gone a lot worse this season. It could have gone a lot worse because you go 2 seasons without Champions League, or you fire the manager, what a lot of morons wanted, and United. I was hearing from fans that support loads of different clubs that Liverpool and Arsenal were going to win titles before Man United. I'm sorry, absolute no. It was never going to happen.
Yeah,
honestly, it never was. Never what I said at the end of last season. United will finish above Liverpool easy because I could see what was coming. You saw it in December when Suarez signed that contract. He was off. Whether it was Real Madrid or Barcelona, he was going. There's only Liverpool fans who couldn't see it. And as soon as he walks out, Liverpool had 2 good games at the start of the season. They've been crap ever since. United have murdered them twice. And this is a bang average Man United. United are going to kick on next season. I tell you what, these shows with Stretty next year, they're going to be fucking ace, I'm telling you.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
we know that. Neo says should have all been given a chance today, saying to the youth agreeing with Gary. Roy says we're not being ruthless enough. We need to be escorting other teams. We're escorting other teams to the title. Paul B says LVG will play anyone if they're good enough. He doesn't do reputations or age-stopping players. You should be given more game time if you're playing the League Cup matches or the FA Cup. And also a comment here as well saying that apart from our keeper, Ashley Young was our player of the season this year. Says a lot about our team's performances. Ian, just quickly, we'll come over to you, mate. You've got to finish off. Is it important to win a trophy next season to build on this now?
I think so. I think picking up on Steve's points is building blocks. There's going to be a lot of change over the summer. Let me just knock the TV off. I'm trying to put Match of the Day on to watch the Scousers get beat yet again. But yeah, I think it's going to be building blocks. I don't think a lot of United fans are going to go, well, we'll be title challengers next season. And that's Louis van Gaal's philosophy. We've touched on it before about him wanting to not have the goalkeeper winning Player of the Year awards. He's got all his attackers. He's bringing in Memphis Depay. He wants to go and attack teams, and that is part of his philosophy. For me, he's done his perfect job. He's got United back in the Champions League, back where they need to be. And that was his aim at the start of the season, and that's where he's finished. For me, my aim at the start of the season was 3rd. We've come up short. Possibly the Arsenal draw could have been that point where if we'd have won that match, they'd have lost again potentially today. Then we would have got that 3rd. But that still was Champions League football for me. So yeah, I think that there's going to be a point now where winning a trophy next season, FA Cup. We all worked that FA Cup run to work out next season, and FA Cup next year would be a delight for us as United fans. But I think that it may be Louis van Gaal's 3rd year before we see a title at Old Trafford. So yeah, there's patience in the manager. There's a lot of faith behind him. A lot of people did slag him off at the wrong time, I think. Oh, Louis van Gaal, what? You can't say this. The man's world renowned. He's worked all over the world. He's won trophies. He's done what he wants to do. Well, let's quickly touch on Tom Thorpe. I think that guy's going to end up going. And I think there's going to be another one of those situations where we're going to pay for it. Well, we're not going to pay for it, but he's going to go on and become a really good player. Another touch on youth today. Sam Johnston played in net for Preston North End. He did his job against a Swindon side that really didn't break anything down against Preston in their 4-0 thrashing, basically. Jermaine Beckford just ran the show in that game. But yeah, another United player gets a trophy at the end of the season. He'll come back and probably slot in. We might even give Ben Amos a run for the money in that position. So back to keeper situations. But yeah, I think we've got to keep ourselves level-headed on the ground. But then again, transfer summer. We were speaking just off air just before we came on. Louis van Gaal could have 4 or 5 signings just nailed up before we've even started the transfer window.
He says he has. To be fair, he said he has. He said he had today into the written press. He said his ins and outs are sorted. They're done. And then all of a sudden, an announcement about Falcao. So
exactly. He's not messing about, is he? Yeah. He knows what he wants. He's got them done. And the Glazers' little purse strings, well, shall we say the club's purse strings, have been opened yet again for the second season in time. We're having to spend money. This is going back beyond Fergie's time that we've had to come and we've now having to bring all this money into the table to bring United back up to standard.
Yeah.
So that standard's going to be built from this season up next season, then the season before for me.
Yeah. I've got to agree, and that's what we've got time for tonight. I've got to thank Aidan at Melvin7, go and check Aidan out, Barry at Doc United, Ian at Ian Patterson MU, and Steve at SGW7. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you to the panelists who have come on throughout the season, Hayley, Sati, Matt, the rest of you as well. Obviously, I haven't got any names down in front of me, and I've got a really scarce memory, but there's loads of you. Sean as well, who started this off, Tom as well. You know, all you guys who have come on the show, thank you very much. Joey, Pasha, all of you have been brilliant. Now it's on to a new adventure with Stretty News TV as we bring you more content for yourself, whatever you want. We're going to stick it on the channel, and we've got loads of good stuff for you to enjoy, including more competitions on the way. Plus, Ian, do I hear something about a signed Paul Scholes shirt? Oh, yeah, I'm not allowed to say anything about that yet. Keep it Stretty News TV. Make sure you subscribe. We may have one. We may not have one. No, we have one, but I can't tell you anything else at this moment. Subscribe to Stretty News TV as we move over there now. Thank you to you guys for watching our live shows. We mean it a lot. And, of course, we have launched a competition to say thank you for watching this season and for subscribing. And I've got to announce that Craig Carroll in Cheshire has won those 2 Legends tickets and will be going to watch the game this summer. Of course, the squad's confirmed. Park Ji-sung playing, Edwin van der Sar, Jaap Stam also playing, of course. Andy Cole's going to be in there. And, of course, everyone's favourite apparently is pulled out, Steve. There's not going to be any Owen Hargreaves at the Legends match this summer. I know. I'm gutted.
Oh, you're joking. I bet he's just injured, isn't he?
Oh, probably. Made of glass, that guy. Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Stretty News TV. Have a great summer. We'll see you in the new season, and keep it at Stretty News TV on Twitter as we have our end of season review show next weekend with Steve, Adam Sweeney, Pasha, and Hayley, all hopefully on that show. It's going to be brilliant. Catch you later. Thank you for watching.